Okay, hi everyone. In this video I got a good little comment in my last video, which was a property video, saying, Dom, why don't you use a grey card in the rooms so you can just use the white balance dipper, which you get in Adobe Lightroom, to get the white balance correct. And I said I don't need a grey card, and the reason is because I just use this, my iPod case. So just to give you a little tip, first of all, whenever you're shooting inside a property, you've got so many different white balances going on. You've got, for some reason, this place has got LED or halogen, no, they're LED lights up there, which are very, very blue. So white balance of around about 7, 8, 9,000. The sun coming in just now is a lovely warm temperature. I'm thinking that's around about maybe 4,500 because it's like a low sun in town just now. But also at the same time, you've got the reflection of the light coming in, so it's coming through a red window there. It's hitting kind of a kind of warm coloured place there, and then you've got these other. So these are kind of warm lights. They're probably around about the 4,000. Well, those are around about about 9,000. So white balance is all over the place. Then once you bring in the flash on the camera, that's around about 5,500 white balance Kelvin. So it's just like, oh, what do you do with the white balance? Well, the main thing is I look at the screen. I kind of go, does that look kind of like what I'm seeing? So I look at the screen. If I take away all the info, I can see there. I'm like going, oh, it looks a little bit too orange. So I'll change the white balance. I'll bring it down to what, to my eye, looks roughly the same. But what I've done is, as a example, is in some cases where just like, I have no idea. I'll use my phone. It's not a phone, it's an iPod, and I'll just place that in the scene. Just put it there. And the cool thing is I can easily clone that out. So that's not a problem. And if I take a photo just now, I'll take it here. And actually that looks pretty much how it should be. I'm pretty happy with that. But if, for example, if I were to just go straight into another room, which faces a different side of the building, so in other words, you're in the shaded side of the house. If I were to use the exact same settings here, place just looks really a bit cold and miserable. And again, with the rooms, you want them to feel warm and inviting. So it's not necessarily having accurate white balance, it's about having good white balance. There's a little what do you call it? A voice sound bite. It's not about accurate white balance, it's about good white balance. Oh yeah, I'll put that at the start. Okay, and just to quickly go over the things that I'm doing here. So the white balance I've got here, if I use the white balance dipper thing, I can bring it straight over my iPod Touch, which is pretty much grey black. It's not got any colour to it at all. And it's saying that the reflected light of that is giving me a white balance of around about 3,900. Ugh. And if you look at the histogram up at the top right, you're going, yeah, that's pretty much right. But it's not right, because that's right if this place was naturally white, but it's naturally warm. So it's like with all the reflection of the red and the reflection of the blinds and the fact that these aren't actually white, these were cream, you've got to warm up. So I would say around about 4,300 is probably more exactly where I want to put it. So again, that may not be the accurate white balance, but or it might not be what the colour dipper would give me if I use a grey card anyway, but it's what certainly gives me a warmer colour and a more inviting room. So again, this room with the LED lights up here, so the same white balance as the last room, I think it just looks a bit too cold. If we bring the dipper over onto this white radiator, which is pretty easy enough, it's giving me a 4,800. Let's see, in the next room I had my iPod there, and well, in fact I got one where it's a little bit closer. So dipper onto this, and let's see, 5,200. So the reflected light is a little bit different. If I were to do my slight changes and leave it there, so that looks like a far more appealing room than this room. If we were trying to get the kind of exposures roughly the same, so you've got that room okay, nice and bright, or you've got warm, inviting room, I go for this one every single time. So again, is more you're looking at what you would see in the if you were there. This room, same white balance as the last place. We've got it at 5,000 here, but this again is a very warm room. So if we were to white balance, let's say off the radiator, it's giving us all the way down to 3,900. If I white balance off the iPod, 4,000, so it's got a little bit warmer, and I'd say that's probably closer to it. So I'd bring up what the kind of more important thing is the tint. I would say if you're going to do anything like here now, the tint is making the windowsill look a little bit purple. As you can see, the tint is a plus 11 over there. If I do that, it's only a plus 2. So the tint is a bit more important, and I might just change the white balance. So there, I think, is more of an accurate white balance and a more pleasing one as well. So bring the highlights down and maybe exposure up just a touch. So that would be how I would finish off that room, from start to finish, way too orange to a much more neutral and more balanced colour shot. So as I say, yeah, you can use a grey card, but do you need to? Not really. There's so many things which are in a room which are white or close enough to white, or at least don't have a colour, that you can usually use them. And even then, what you want to do is adjust the white balance afterwards. So doing it in camera or just doing a colour dipper or a white balance dipper won't give you the final result. So that's my little tip. Cheers, bye bye.